What's up, everybody? Trevor Sikkema here with the Draft Network, another episode of our live mock draft series. Very, very excited about the episode that we have for you tonight because I'd like to think that with the couple of guests that we've had so far since we started the series, it's guys who are pretty close to the game of football, guys who know the teams very well, know prospects very well. It doesn't get any closer to the game of football than the guest that we have this evening because it is the one and only Shelby Harris, defensive tackle for the Denver Broncos. He spent plenty of time around the NFL. We're very fortunate to have Shelby on the show with us. Shelby, my man, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, how is first question? I know it's the obvious one, but I got to ask you, it's been a couple of weeks since the season was over. You unwind a little bit. Have you had the time to kind of take a breath? I saw you're I don't want to say a new dad once again, but I saw that you were blessed enough to bring in a baby boy into the world in the month of December. And so that's kind of got to bring it a little bit hectic in your household, right?
Man, it's been no time to really sleep at all, man. Me and my wife, we have 4 kids, and so it's just it's hectic nonstop, and so it's just it keeps you on your toes. But the way we look at it is get it out the way now, so we can enjoy our lives later.
This is true. This is true. I mean, 4 kids, man. I mean, y'all are doing an awesome thing there. And so, man, I would love for you to catch your breath a little bit after the offseason, but I know that makes it hard a little bit. When you have those sleepless nights, I know you're a big video gamer. You're a big gamer guy. You an Xbox guy? You a PS4, PS5? You a computer gamer? What kind of gamer are you?
I've stayed true to Xbox since
Heck yeah, let's go.
Xbox has come out.
Let's go.
I've always been diehard Xbox from the jump, and I can't like I have a PS5, but I just got that for Spider-Man. But like for me, it's Xbox all the way.
You're over here. We got people dying to get a PlayStation 5, and you're out here flexing that you just have one simply for the Spider-Man game.
No, dude. Like what people got to realize is I grew up like a real gamer. Like that's all we did. Like we didn't have that much growing up, but we always had a video game, and so there's always getting on the game and being competitive with my brothers. It was always something fun, and so it's always carried on. Definitely to my older age.
I'm curious because I was the same way. You're 29 now. I'm 29 as well. So grew up in the same age, that video game age. I'm curious, what games were you playing when you were growing up?
Man, I remember. So when the first game was Mortal Kombat for Sega.
Oh, classic, very classic.
Like yes, and so I've always played Mortal Kombat from the beginning. But then I remember for N64, the first game I got because it came with the N64 was Donkey Kong 64.
Oh, yes.
The 64 was green and like yellow.
Yes.
It was awesome. Best gift ever. Like I loved it. It was a Christmas gift too. I remember that was awesome.
I remember like to this day, people ask me like, hey, what's the best Christmas gift you ever got? With me, no doubt about it. I can say it instantly. It was when I got a PlayStation 2. Like that, when I unwrapped that PlayStation 2, it was just like the greatest feeling in the world. Also, you starting off with Mortal Kombat is fantastic because everybody who starts video games at a young age, there's got to be some sort of button mashing game. Like it's just got to be like, I'm trying to hit this button as fast as possible. And Mortal Kombat's great because it's a fighting game and you're just trying to mash as many buttons as you possibly can. So that was a good choice there, I think.
You know what's kind of funny is like literally just today is so I'm a big gamer, so
yeah.
I just got this arcade game installed in my basement and this Mortal Kombat 1, 2,
Whoa!
Yeah.
That's an awesome full circle story right there. That's so
man,
cool.
I'm telling you, like I'm all about my games, man. And so I always just I play, and my wife always tries to tell me I play too much. But you always got to say this. My favorite person I always used to play with, though. It was always Raiden. Because Raiden, I always felt like he was the good guy. You could always play with him. He's looking out for everybody. But then I wanted to go like, bad. I definitely would say Scorpion.
Yeah, I mean, like that's a classic one. Also, your wife's saying you play too many video games. Give it a little bit of time because you got a newborn right now, and in those sleepless nights, you might walk in the door and your wife's just sitting there playing the video game, trying to beat like the next level or something. Like that's coming. That's coming. So she can't hate on it too much. I gotta ask you, what games are you playing right now outside of the new arcade one that you just got? What games are you playing like for Xbox?
All right, so for Xbox, got the Call of Duty,
Have to.
Warzone heavy.
Got to do it.
Hitting Warzone heavy.
Yes.
Madden. I'm in a couple of Madden leagues. I play Madden hard. 2K. I downloaded Watch Dogs.
Nice.
I kind of try to move from game to game. I try to not stay in one genre, but I'm always open to learn.
Different, like you're saying, your different types of games that you play. I mean, like those are solid. That's a great rotation. And you being very into Madden, that's going to be a great transition into what we're doing now. Cause I'm sure that you've done, the franchise mode thing, all that kinds of stuff. That's basically what we're doing today with this live mock draft series. You, as someone who has played the last 4 seasons for the Denver Broncos, you said that you would pick in our 7-round mock draft for the Denver Broncos. And so I know that you're going through some contract extension talks to the Broncos. Well, in our world right now, they didn't just offer you a contract to play defensive tackle, but also to be the general manager of the team. So you are both right now. You got an extension, you're general manager, you're also the defensive tackle, like a player GM. I don't know if that's ever happened before, probably not, but we're making history here on this show. So we got you picking for the Denver Broncos. I'm also going to be active in this mock draft. I'm going to be picking for a divisional foe. I'm going to go with the Los Angeles Chargers, which before we hit play on this, I was doing some reading up on some of your early days in your career. And I read, after you were bouncing around the league for a little bit before we really came on with the Denver Broncos, that a moment in your career that it felt like kind of like catapulted you when you were with the Broncos with that blocked kick that you had against the Chargers, right? I mean, that had to be a huge moment for you.
I think it's funny you say that because the Chargers were responsible for, I think, 2 of the biggest moments of my career. That block kick, but then also my 3rd year in the league, I was out the league for 15 out of the 17 weeks. And I remember I had this workout with the Chargers, and I went down there and I worked out with them, and they didn't sign me. And I remember I was like, I'm about to quit. I hate this. Like it was. I was so glad. I remember I called my wife, everyone, like I'm about to quit. And then my wife's just like, you know what? Like, it was just like, it's just crazy because this is like the Chargers really, like it kind of like set my head on straight of, all right, like I'm about to go do this, and then kind of just changed the tone. And then the block kick, it was just, it all was meant to be.
Monday Night Football, man. I mean, like that gave you probably at the time like your lowest moment in the NFL and then the highest. So now I feel bad. Now I kind of feel bad that I'm picking for the Chargers because I'm trying to help out the team that didn't want to sign you. So now like I kind of feel bad about it.
Well, you could be the Raiders, the team that cut me. So
okay, no. I don't want to do that then. All right, so we're gonna stick with the Chargers then. Rob, if you want to pull up the mock draft machine, this is the part in the show where we will get to that. Everybody who sees this screen and is familiar with it, you know what's about to happen. We're about to run through a 7-round mock draft. If you are new around here, this is, of course, the Draft Network's MDM mock draft machine that you can find over at thedraftnetwork.com. If you are a premium subscriber, you can get all kinds of trades going on. I don't plan on doing any trades. Shelby, if you want to do some wheeling and dealing, some trades are going to pop up, and you can see if you want to do those. I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to stick with the picks. I'm going to stick with the picks that the Chargers have because I'm going to try to give Chargers fans who might be watching some realistic guys that they want to draft around their picks. But you are up first, actually. You are up first because the Denver Broncos are picking at 9 overall. So we're simming the first couple of picks here. Got some of the big quarterbacks that are off the board. So you got some trade offers here. I don't want to tell you whether or not you can take them, but Washington.
So
here we go. Yep.
81.
Washington gives you 2nd, gives you 5th. You drop down to 19.
Well, can I see what corners are on the board first?
Okay. You want to hold on. Rob, go to the other trades first because you got a couple more here.
Okay.
Yeah, Chicago's giving you an offer too. That's basically the same thing. Chicago basically just gave you the same thing that Washington gave you. What was the other one? San Francisco. You're only moving back to 12 for this one, and you also get a 3rd-round pick and a 5th-round pick.
Yeah, let's take that one. I'm okay with that one.
You want to take that one, or do you want to see? Okay. You want to see who the corners are on the board first? Because we can do that too.
Let's see the corner. Let's see the corner. See, being a GM, this is difficult.
You're right.
Already stumbling over yourself.
I'm glad that you see it here. Okay, so no corners have been drafted yet. We still got Patrick Surtain from Alabama, and we got Caleb Farley from Virginia Tech. Those are going to be the two. Patrick Surtain is more of like, if you want like a man-to-man kind of a corner, he's your guy. Caleb Farley is more of like, if you need a cover 3 guy, more of a zone coverage player, but he's a former wide receiver, so he's got a lot of game to him as well. So those are probably the 2 picks. You're a defensive guy. You play on the Broncos defense. You would probably know a little bit which style fits them better, but those are the 2 guys that you could take.
So here, okay, I'll just tell you what my thinking is. My thinking is I want Surtain. Like
Okay.
that's, but can I trade back, get extra draft capital, and still get him?
I think the Cowboys will for sure at 10 take a corner. I've done enough of these simulations, so they're going to take one of them. I
might have to take him because I it's nothing against Farley at all. Nothing at all.
I think if you want Surtain, my advice would be to take him now. Yeah. My advice would be to take him now.
The Cowboys didn't offer anything. They don't want a wheeling deal because
no.
This is what I'm talking. Ooh, I feel like I'm getting my juices flowing.
I know it's fun, right? It's fun.
Ooh. Oh, okay.
See, the problem with the Giants at number 11 is like Dave Gettleman never trades. He just like as a GM, he never trades in the draft. So we have it in the mock draft machine where it's super difficult to ever trade with the New York Giants. And so, yeah, this is tough. I would tell you if you want Surtain, you can do it. But
I'm taking Surtain.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I'm gonna take Surtain. Let's do it.
We were going to find out how big of a gambler you were, but here, first time with the GM, you got to go take the talent. All right, so wow, here we go. I just said the New York Giants don't trade, and now they offer me to trade. No, I'm declining this one. I'm declining this one straight off of principle. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it because if I accept that trade, then I'm a liar to Shelby right on our first show together. That's not good. We don't want that. All right, so Cleveland offering me a trade. I'm picking a 13er right now for the Chargers. 26 of 4.
What position?
Oh, it's got to be offensive line. Like we got, listen, I gotta get some big dudes who can block you because right now they ain't got anybody on the line who's going to block you on the interior. So we can't be doing that. So I need Justin Herbert to survive the next couple of years because he's pretty nice. All right, so
he's going to be a dog.
I know, man. He's
a dog.
He's great. I hate that he cut his hair, but it kind of is what it is. It is what it is. No, Rob, I don't want any of these. These are having me move too far back. I'm going to say no to all of these.
What's the old lineman on the board?
Let's see who we got offensive. Oh wow, Trey Lance is still there. We don't need those. Ooh, Rashawn Slater's on the board. See, that's nice. Now we got the lay of the land right here because Slater's still here. Slater's a guy who I really like. People talk about him and Penei Sewell being the top offensive tackle in the class. He's got some offensive guard as well as offensive tackle versatility. Darisaw, I also really like. He had a fantastic year at left tackle for Virginia Tech. He's a big, strong dude. I'm going to go with Slater, though, because the Chargers do have Brian Bulaga. They're playing him at right tackle. They think that he could survive there. They're probably going to bring back Sam Tevi. You don't want him to be the starter, I don't think, but he's a solid offensive lineman. I think he'd be a rotational guy. Slater allows you to have more versatility in what you're doing with him. So I'm going to pick him there because if you need him to play on the interior, to have however you need to get your quote-unquote best 5 offensive linemen out there, he gives you the flexibility to do that. So let's go Slater here. Let's go Slater.
Yeah, I think that's a good one.
Patrick Surtain and Rashawn Slater, 2 picks for us right there. Before I get you back on the board, I got to ask you about this. I know you're a big barbecue guy. And I have a little movement on social media that is kind of started out of it kind of started out as just me being a fat kid. And now it's something that everybody really, really likes. It's called 3 sides minimum. And what we do is it's a barbecue rule that I have. And it's wherever we're going to a barbecue place, you always get at least 3 sides. It's always a 3 sides minimum thing because my thought is, when you go to a new barbecue place, you never know what they specialize in. Like this barbecue spot might be really great with collards or with mac and cheese or with like coleslaw or baked beans or something like that. So I always tell people, get the extra side, figure out which barbecue spot or what this barbecue spot specializes in. So my biggest question to you is, if you're at a barbecue place and you're ordering your favorite 3 sides, what are we getting?
All right. So my 3 sides, we gotta have greens. Greens is number 1.
I'm with you. 100%.
And this is actually pretty easy. The mac and cheese.
There it
The
is.
mac and cheese.
There it is.
And then I don't know. It's side/dessert because I have two. Because another one's the baked beans. I kind of always want to see what the baked beans. But then also most barbecue places have banana pudding.
Yes.
I want to see what the banana pudding is like everywhere I go.
This is beautiful. This is beautiful because every time somebody asks me about it, they go like, "Hey, what's your favorite 3 sides?" My 3 sides. It's easy for me. Collards, mac and cheese, baked beans. But we have the same exact 3 that we always go for. So that's great. And you can never go wrong with really nice banana pudding.
Never.
Who we got on the board here? Okay, they want me to move up 10 picks for a 4th rounder. No, I'm not doing that. I keep my 4th rounder. Chargers got too many needs here. I got to make too many picks. I'm a greedy GM. Wait, did it freeze on the Panthers? Did it freeze on the Panthers here, Rob? Oh, he just paused it to do a little recap here. All right, so Rob's recapping some of the picks on the left. Everyone can see this here on the mock draft machine. Najee Harris went to the Arizona Cardinals. Very interesting.
The Cardinals, interesting.
Very interesting.
I can see them using more of a speed back.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kenyon Drake's pretty good for him, but 16 would be a rich pick to upgrade on Kenyon Drake. J.C. Horn, they go Christian Darrisaw to Chicago. I think that's a great fit. Love Terrace Marshall going 23, given whatever quarterback they got at number 2, a good weapon.
Oh, Russo to the Ravens.
To the Ravens. Wow.
That'd be nice. That definitely would be nice.
Yeah, they wish they could get Greg Rousseau. I don't know if he's still going to be on the board there. Okay, let's restart the draft here. Let's get Shelby up again in the second round. Panthers want me to move 2nd to 3rd. No, I'm not doing that. No, absolutely not. No. I'm keeping my late round picks. So you got a little trade back again here. 49ers are calling again. They want you to move back 3 spots and you pick up an extra 5th round pick. So you get a 5th rounder. It's only 3 spots.
Okay. Well, now we got to start talking about what we're looking for. Well, because at this point, if I'm thinking of our roster, I would say, once again, we can always use another corner. Because just after all the corner injuries we had this year, we definitely. We saw how bare we got.
Yeah,
we need more corners,
no doubt.
I'm pretty sure K. Jackson will last year of his deal next year, so you need a safety. You might need a safety. A young safety to come in and learn.
Right.
Obviously the D line, depending on what they decide to do, you might want to get another young player to come in and learn.
Right.
I'm just trying to think because in O line, you talk about O line, everything else, every position on O line is pretty much locked up for the next 4 years. Yep.
So you got some flexibility there. You're pretty comfortable there.
Running back, you got some decisions to make.
No doubt.
And then receiver, you got Court, you got KJ, you got Jerry, you got Tim.
You got a lot of young guns at receiver. I
would go veteran presence there and go pick up something in free agency.
Okay. All right.
So then I guess another question is, do we pick up competition for Drew Lock?
Right. I mean, I'm not sure what. Think Mac's still on the board? I feel like Mac Jones might be the only quarterback that might still be on the board.
But then here's my other question with it is, and you spent 2 second-round picks on quarterbacks over the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So then who do you actually really want to play?
Right. That would be a legit kind of like competition because you've got the same thing invested in both of these guys.
Because then in the end of the day, the Broncos are really the loser then because one of your second-round picks isn't playing. So then it doesn't make any sense. So I guess I'd have to try to look at safety or corner in the second round again.
Okay. All right.
Or D-line, anything on defense, I guess. Yeah. Even
all
linebacker.
Right.
Linebacker.
Let's just see the board. We know the 49ers offered this pick. Let's see who's still on the board. Oh, Christian Barmore is there. He's a really nice interior defensive lineman. He's more of a pass rusher. You got Davion Nixon as well. Oh, you got some nice interior defensive line picks. Trayvon Merrick, who's a nice rangy safety. He's probably safety 1 in this class from TCU. So actually, this is lining up really nice for what you were thinking it might be.
Good defensive second round right here where you can really pick up some players. Just for I think D-line second round might be too high regardless of who's there because you got young, really solid young pieces there that you want to make like Draymond and Sosa, we call him Telvin. You really got and then Purcell. You really got a lot of players there. So I would go with the safety from TCU.
Let's do it. Let's get Trayvon Merrick. Why not?
Yeah, safety from TCU. He gets a year. He can learn, and then it needs to be a core special teams player coming in, dominate, and then hopefully see the field and maybe some nickel dime situation.
I like it. Secondary work. We're improving the secondary here in the first 2 rounds. Giants are over here trading again. I'm not doing it. No, Dave Gettleman heard me talking smack about him not moving, and now he's out here just offering me everything. Okay. We went with Rashawn Slater first round. I'm going to act like Rashawn Slater is playing left tackle for me because I believe he can. Oh, man, I'd love Landon Dickerson. I would love to pick up Landon Dickerson here. I'm worried about his overall health because his injury history is not great. Man.
Bill Humphrey.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong. Well, you can go wrong. The only way you can go wrong is if the health doesn't, follow the pick you choose them in.
Yeah.
But, you can't always say you can't judge somebody, by the health they really have in college because you're asked to do way more in college. Your body takes way more of a beating. And so, it's just, I've seen it so many times. College players been hurt multiple times in college, come in the league, never get hurt. So, it's either or.
Is that kind of just like when you say that, is that like they're trying to put so much weight on their body coming from being high schoolers, or is it like the practice things, or what is it in the NFL that's a little different, like you said, where it's less taxing on what your body is? What exactly do you mean?
Well, for most people, I would say in the NFL, in college, you're going in, you're trying to get way stronger. You're trying to get way bigger. You're trying to get faster. You're constantly trying to improve your body, and take it to its limit.
Right.
The NFL is kind of like managing that limit and making sure you can still perform at that high level because you've already been trained to be at that high level. You know what I mean? So you're not training to get at a high level. You're trained to maintain that high level necessarily in the NFL. So it's I guess it's easier on your body. A little bit because I just think about the college workouts. You don't ever do anything like that in the NFL. You know what I mean? Like 30 cross fields. It doesn't make any sense. So that's why I think guys' bodies hold up a little bit better in the NFL just because of that.
Okay, let's see. Rob, can you go to interior offensive line? I think I'm still leaning Dickerson, especially after that speech. That's good. I like it. Dickerson's also got versatility. He's played at a lot of different spots in the offensive line. This is my guy. I've talked him up too much. I'm going to go Landon Dickerson. I see he's circling Trey Smith. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go Landon Dickerson. I think that he might slide to the second round. I feel like he could be a first round talent. And man, for as highly as everybody speaks of him, I think he could go in the first round. But injury history might push him to the second. But right there, Shelby was telling me I don't have to worry as much about it. Things should be a little bit different in the NFL. He might be able to manage things and his own body a little bit better. So I got to take the word of the guy who's been in the trenches himself. Indianapolis Colts are currently on the clock. This is for you, Shelby. They're currently on the clock in the second round at pick number 53. They want you to give up a third rounder and a fourth rounder. Hey, you're basically swapping fifth rounders in order to move up. So they want you. They're basically looking for you to move up 20 spots if you give them your fourth rounder.
Is that D tackle from Alabama still on the clock?
Ooh, let's see it. Can we see it? Is Barmore still there? I don't think he is. Nope. Onwuzurike is there from Washington. He's a very interesting guy. I know a lot of people really like him. He's got a lot of versatility. Oh, Christian Barmore went right after you picked. The pick after. Nah, he wouldn't make it to you.
You know, so let's look
What about
corner.
what
Let's
about
look
linebacker?
linebacker. I would say let's look linebacker.
Dylan Moses. Dylan Moses is still there.
So that's what I just saw his name. That's what I was like thinking linebacker. So it's just
Dylan Moses, man. He's got a wild story. Former IMG dude was running like a 4.40 at like 14 years old, like 15 years old. Like he's just a crazy athlete. And he had the ACL tear last year. It really took him a while to get his, I was going to say get his feet back under him, but honestly get his knee back under him. And so I think that, yeah, Rob is saying that he's reminding me that he picked up full-time offers from LSU and Bama when he was 14 years old. This is Dylan Moses. And so he is a heck of a linebacker. I mean, he's very smart as well. You just hope if he has confidence in that knee that he'll be able to get back to his really nice athletic form, because I think that he was coming along well as a sophomore before he got injured. So look, if you're looking for extra linebacker help, this trade with the Colts might be worth it for you to come up and go get him.
so. Okay, here's my one. When it comes to him, it's all about if he gets his speed back. Because in a Vic Fangio defense, you need a linebacker that can take the tight end. So I'm just going to assume, because we're going to be the positive group. We're going to assume he's getting his speed back.
Let's do it.
Let's make that trade, and we're going to Dylan Moses in the second round.
Okay, I love it. Can you make the trade happen? Can you pull it up and it's right there? Yeah, it's right there. All right, let's do it. Let's get the Broncos on the clock. Colts better accept the offer. They sent it. And now let's take Dylan Moses. Let's make Dylan Moses the pick here. I like it. I like even more the positivity that we're putting out there in the universe. I like it because I think that Dylan Moses he's a hell of a talent. And he's a good kid too. And so I wish the best for him. I really do. Browns. You want me to move up? Ooh, all I got to give up is a 5th round pick?
That sounds...
No, I'm doing that. Give me that. Let's do it. That's like robbery. Did they realize what they just did here? I gotta accept it before they take it back. All right, so I went Landon Dickerson. I got Rashawn Slater. Let me see corner. Let's see corner here. I know they got some veteran corners, but I feel like they knew. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No. I'm taking Melifonwu. I'm going to do Melifonwu because Melifonwu is a 6'2", 210. Yeah, man. He is long. He is athletic, and I think he's more polished. He's more polished than his brother was, and so I think that man, he was impressive at the Senior Bowl as well. I think he was catching a lot of eyes with how well he was able to have recovery speed with his length, and anytime you got that speed that goes with the length, that's what everybody's coveting. So he's a guy who can play really, really well in zone coverage. Let's go him. I think that 58, you look at his number next to him, 70, it's not too different, but I think when it's all said and done, we're going to see Melifonwu flirt with that top 50 anyways. And so I'm very, very happy with that. Thank you very much, Cleveland Browns, for offering me that robbery of a trade that I just took from you guys.
Hey, the one thing is you can't coach speed. You can coach the fundamentals. You cannot coach speed.
That's what a lot of listen to you. You sound like a GM already, man. You're scouting the traits out here.
Hey, I'm feeling in my zone already.
He's in his GM zone. Okay, I'm up again. 97. So we've gone corner. We got Melifonwu there. What about linebacker? Who's left linebacker? Oh, come on. Give me a steal. Ah, man. No, I'm not. No, I don't want Monty Rice. It's too early for me here. Thought I was going to get a steal. What about edge rusher? Not exactly sure what's going to happen with Melvin Ingram. Might be back, but he's been banged up a little bit. He's getting up there in age. My boy Patrick Jones is still here. He gives some juice off the edge. Do they want somebody a little heavier, though?
See, do you want an inside guy? Because Joseph is an older player. We all know that Neville Joseph, and you just kind of a lot of it. You got to see what's on the board at the time about what makes the most sense. So
let me see
that high of a pick on.
It's true, no doubt. Let's see interior defensive line. Who we got here? Jalen Twyman is there. Darius Sills is there. I kind of like Jalen Twyman.
I like Twyman. I was going to say I like Twyman. But, it's just a matter of...
He's a little lighter.
How much are you... So that's the thing is, like, are you going to play him at the 3 tech or...
Yeah, I think that I would definitely want Twyman to play 3 tech. I'd love to have him one gap as much as possible.
Yeah, because then is Tillery's not a free agent, is he?
No, he's still in the rookie contract. So it's him, Bosa, Ingram's obviously on the other side. Joseph is still there. I'm looking at the depth chart now.
Well, because
they got
Ingram
Justin
goes inside.
Jones.
Ingram goes inside the pass rush on third down,
right?
Sometimes, and that could take away reps from the tackles, and
then
it
know
depends
what?
if Ingram comes back. It depends if Ingram comes back, and
give me Patrick Jones actually, because Jones is a little bit lighter, and I think that he needs to learn to not get caught as much when he's trying to do inside moves. But when he attacks the outside shoulder, I think that he's got great athleticism coming out of his stance. And I think that when you talked about it right there, if they're kicking Bosa inside on third downs, especially on passing down situations, they might want a guy that they could play more like a wide 9 who could just straight come off the edge and be a speed player next to him and really throw off opposing offensive lines. And so I'll go Patrick Jones. I think that's a nice little switch up there. I'm up again. Man, I'm up again. What are you just taking the night off now? You just make 3 good picks and there it is. That's all you need.
I'm trading my picks away.
I know. He traded up.
I was always a believer of I'd rather use my picks on, if I could trade it and get a player I know can come to make
no doubt
impact.
Yeah.
I was always a more of I'm no problem like the Rams. What the Rams do? They always trade their first round picks.
Yeah.
But you always get a real player.
No doubt.
Like you don't have that question of are you going to develop? You get somebody already.
Yeah, their last couple of times they've traded first-round picks, they've got themselves Jalen Ramsey and Matthew Stafford, and I gotta say, those are 2 pretty dang good football players. And so, yeah, I'm with you there. Let me see interior offensive line, Rob, because Chargers got to upgrade. Oh, Ben Cleveland's there. I love Ben Cleveland. We're going Ben Cleveland. Yeah, I mean, like, dude's nasty. He's huge. Big right guard for the Georgia Bulldogs. I love the nastiness that he plays with. That's an easy one for me. So, recapping our picks a little bit here before we get to the next one. Shelby had they want you to move up. Oh, you got another chance to move up. What was okay, so yeah, well, let me see the offer real quick. They want you
5 and 7.
That's almost 30 picks though. You get to jump up almost 30 picks, and all you lose is a 7th rounder.
And I kind of feel like I have to.
I mean, this is.
But wait, it's talking about this year's. I'm making sure. It's talking about this year's 5th.
Yes.
Yeah, I have to do it even if I don't know who's on the board.
This is great value. This is a good deal. You doing it?
Yeah, I'm doing it. 100%.
All right.
No,
all right,
no question. That's like
you're popping 30 picks from the 5th round to the 4th round, and all you had to give up was a 7th. I mean, I think that's pretty good. Real quick before I'll give you some extra time to think about a position that you might want. Recapping your draft, you went Patrick Surtain, the corner from Alabama, at number 9. Trayvon Merrick, safety from TCU, in the 2nd round. And then you went Dylan Moses after a little bit of a trade up to get back into the 2nd round. Now you are here in the 4th, making another selection after another trade up, which I like. I really like your trade up moves here. So let's see who's still on the board overall. And then after going secondary, and then linebacker, what position you might want to go with.
Interesting.
So Twyman is still there for you at interior defensive line. You haven't hit that one yet. Trey Sermon.
That's actually, so I'm like, I sit there, I see Trey Sermon, I'm like, everything just all depends on, certain moves you want to make.
Yeah.
But if we're talking, I traded up and I want a player, I got to pick Twyman.
Okay.
I traded up. I want somebody who's going to come in and play. You got to get him. He shouldn't even be on the board right then.
I agree with you. He should not be on the board. I think that Twyman's going to go even a little bit higher than this. I think that people have forgotten how much fun he was in his 2019 tape. And so I think that when, I almost said when we get into the thick of the offseason, then people are going to realize it again. But it's, we had the Senior Bowl and we were kind of lucky to even have that, but no other all-star events, no big time pro days, no combine. It's kind of crazy this draft season where there's a lot of information that's not going to be out there. So
it kind of sucks for, let's say the smaller school guys or guys don't have that much national exposure because this is how you get your name out there is to combine. Some guy from Tennessee Chattanooga just ran a 4.3. Who is he? You know what I mean?
Right.
That's just how it is. And so, now it's just up to all these pro days and everything. And I just hope that even with last year, guys lost out on chances. One of my Illinois State guys, James Robinson, he definitely should have been drafted as he showed the NFL this year, but. With COVID and everything going on, a lot of guys are losing chances that, they wouldn't have before. And so you just hope that those guys eventually do get their chance.
I was just about to bring up James Robinson as an example because he was an East-West Shrine guy and he stood out big time during East-West Shrine week. And that was one of the all-star bowls that we didn't get this year. I totally didn't even make the connection that he's an Illinois State guy. He's with you. He's one of your boys. And so that makes sense there. But yeah, I mean, that's totally correct. There's going to be a lot of teams that are heavily leaning on their own scouting staffs. And I think that you're going to see way different boards this year. And you're going to see a lot of teams draft guys who you go, wow, they drafted him that early, or wow, I can't believe this guy fell this late. It's going to be a really fun draft, I think, because of that. It's, I say fun for us as the observer. It's unfortunate for a lot of the guys that didn't get the recognition that they could have in a normal year, but it's going to make for a very interesting draft, no doubt about it.
This will be the biggest disconnect between the media and actually, I think, in the actual draft this year. Usually I feel like the media is pretty, good at judging, who can do what. But then if you don't know who's visiting who, if you don't know who was watching whose workout, then you kind of get lost and don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Wow. He said, did you hear that, Rob? He said that the media is actually pretty good most years. We're gonna take that as a compliment that we don't often get because we often just get yelled at about how much we didn't know. So you are up here in the 6th round. Pick 190.
Okay.
You got an all defensive draft so far. I don't know if you want to just keep it rolling or if you might be going to the other side of the ball.
See, you got Jalen. You know what we can do? This is where, we can play around. Maybe, a receiver, special teams guy, a running back, someone. You never know because, I was a 7th round guy. You never know who you're going to get.
Right.
And, it's just something as simple as injuries can knock somebody down 7th round when they're really a dog. And so
we got at running back, we got Jarrett Patterson, who's right there, who rushed for, Lord, what was it? Rob, probably know off the top of your head. It was 400 and something yards, right? I mean, he rushed for 400 yards in a single game. He's still on the board. 406, Rob says. And so don't quote us on it, but I knew it was a 400 something. CJ Verdell is very interesting. He was a big time starter at Oregon the last couple of years. If you want to go running back, Jamar Jefferson's pretty fun from Oregon State.
So let's look maybe tackle too. We need a little depth. We needed a little depth, maybe a project or someone who needs a couple years to learn.
All right, Alaric Jackson. Now this. Good tackles don't often get picked this late in the draft, and so it's going to be slim pickings, I think, for the guys that are left to tackle.
Yeah. So I'd say let's look at. I like the guy from Buffalo.
Okay, Jarrett Patterson.
I love, small school guys. I feel like they come in and they have this little chip on their shoulder and they're just ready to go out there and work. I think the young guys these days, they don't value special teams play as much as they should. You can make a career off that or just make the team off of that, being a lower round guy. So, I always like the small school guys that want to come in there and work.
Rakeem Boyd might also be somebody, the running back from Arkansas, who's right there. He's a former, I don't know if you ever watched the show Last Chance U, but he's a former Last Chance U guy, and I remember getting to watch a lot of his games at Arkansas. He's kind of the same thing, big redemption story, big chip on his shoulder guy, and so you want to stick with Patterson, or you want to look around a little bit more?
Well, let's look at the receiver real quick. Real quick and to see if there's any.
Oh, I love Shi Smith. Oh, man, Shi Smith is fun. He's got some fun tape, and he also, you know what I like about Shi Smith? He also he talks a little trash. He gets in people's faces, and he's got a little attitude to him. I actually really like that about him.
I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to go K. Johnson, South Dakota State.
Okay, there we go. So a small school guy still. K. Johnson, Senior Bowl guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a fun wide receiver. He's a guy who could really fit the bill of kind of what you were talking about there. No, I'm not gonna. No, I'm not moving up. I'm not moving up one spot, San Francisco. I'm not doing that. Chill out. All right, who have I picked? Let me see. I'm on the clock again. 6th round. Rob, let me see who I picked. Ooh, I got picked 202 as well. We got Ben Cleveland. We got corner. We got an edge rusher, interior offensive line. Okay, so I haven't quite. I didn't like any of the tackles that were left. What about linebacker? Who do we have left? Now might be a decent time to go pick up a linebacker. Barnes is interesting. Borland's interesting.
Borland is he for what you're looking for, like, you never know what a player will ever, do once they really get their chance.
Mm-hmm.
But you can predict what you would want them to do.
Mm-hmm.
And Borland would be, 6th round. You're thinking at that point, you're not looking at maybe a starter day one, but that'd definitely be a hell of a special teams player.
Yeah, I mean, he reminds me a lot of Josie Jewell, who is a guy that obviously playing with the Denver Broncos. He was a player who it was kind of like the same thing. You weren't exactly sure how well he was going to be able to keep up in the league, and he stuck around and he worked his butt off. And now this past year he started 16 games. So, all right, we'll go tough Borland. I think that they need a little extra juice in the linebacker room anyway. I'm not exactly sure all the guys that they're going to bring back and who's still going to be there from next year. So I'll go tough Borland, especially because I got an extra pick right here at 202.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now Shi Smith's on the board for me.
It's time.
Yeah, it is time. Yeah, it's time. No, you know what time it is. I'm gonna go Shi Smith.
You can't pass him up twice.
No, I can't. No, one of the picks had to be Shi. I was talking him up when you were on the board, and so it would have been a big time disservice for me to not get him there. All right, we got two. Okay, so you got 2 more picks. I got 1 more pick. I think that's all for us in this draft. So you got 2 more here in the 7th round.
So you should trade me your first next year for my 2 7ths, and we got a deal.
Wow, 2 picks for 1 deal? Absolutely not. Get out of here.
All right. So then this one. All right. Let's just look at QBs. Who's the QB? Who's the QB on the board?
Ooh, who's still left? Okay, we got Felipe Franks, big tall quarterback, got a cannon. Ian Book, very athletic quarterback from Notre Dame. I mean, those are probably the only guys that I really trust.
It's either Franks or Book if it was
QB.
Let's look running back on it. Let's look at the running backs.
Oh yeah, have you gotten? Oh yeah, you picked.
I didn't pick a running back. I picked a receiver.
Oh yeah, you picked Cade. So there's some running backs that I like. I mean, Rakeem is still there. CJ Verdell is a lot of fun. He was a longtime starter for Oregon. I think that he's a lot of fun. Ooh, Roundtree's nice.
So then, let's see. I'm trying to think of age of roster of places where we might want to get a younger player. I feel like I should get an offensive player, but I can't help but say let's look at corner.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could. Yeah, you could go back into the corner because you got 2 picks here. So if you've still got another chance in about 2. So let's go to corner, Rob. Let's let them see cornerbacks who's still on the board there. Thomas Graham Jr. I know a lot of people liked him from Oregon going into the season. Ooh, there's some people who have really talked up Trey Norwood as well from Oklahoma. Very surprised to see that he is here this late.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I just feel, Oregon, just the Oregon players in general. No, shout out to all my Oregon boys, but a lot of them don't. A lot of them don't show up in the league. So, I feel like, it's a pick, and Norwood has the biggest upside from the beginning of the season, and just played better competition necessarily than I gotta go Norwood.
Okay, all right. He's out here scouting the helmet. Oregon players can't play. Shelby said no. I'm just Listen, he's got to stick to his GM guns. He's got to stick to his guns here. He picked Trey Norwood. I like the pick, though. I think the Trey Norwood would have been my selection as well there for him. This is, I believe, your last pick in the draft. Rob, can you scroll over, see if he's got one more pick? Because this no, you can. You could just scroll the bar at the top where the icons are. Okay, so this is the last pick he has. He went the long way about it.
Nobody's
so yeah,
offering
you
me a
just
first or a second or anything.
no, nobody's offering you a first just to pick some scrubs here in the set. No, I'm just kidding. They're not scrubs. There's a lot of
Hey, your boy was 7th round.
I know. I was wondering if you were gonna say something about it.
He had to catch a bunch of scrubs. I was like, I guess I want some scrub out.
Listen, if you are out there listening to this podcast and you're about to be a 7th round pick, don't worry, because then 5 years, 6 years after you get drafted, you can come on this show with me, and that's what you have to look forward to as a 7th round pick.
Oh my God! So last pick of the draft.
Yes. Have not gone running back yet. Is it time? It time?
I think it's time to look running back, and if it's not.
Running backs finally matter in the 7th round.
We're going to go with something. I'm going to feel it out. And,
Oh, CJ Marable, that Coastal Carolina running back. He had a good year.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right, okay.
I'm about to feel it out. I said, he's a big part of the success.
Yeah, he is.
Magic. Let's do it. Put him on the board.
Okay, CJ, I'm looking forward to having you on the show in 5 years, my man. Thank you so much for standing out and being here. 237 is the last pick that we're doing here in the 7th round mock. Is this the overall board, Rob? Okay, this is the overall board. Scroll down a little bit for me. Oh, Trayvon Grimes. Have I picked a wide receiver? I think I have picked a wide receiver. Who did I just pick? I just picked Shy, right? Nah, that ain't gonna stop me. That's not stopping me. I'm taking Trayvon. I graduated from University of Florida, so I'm a big Florida guy. It wouldn't be a Trevor Sikkema mock draft if I wasn't taking at least one Florida Gator in this mock draft. So there we go, man. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. How did it feel? Are you sweating right now? Are you sweating as a first time GM?
Man, I just, here's my one thing I think is very interesting. It's weird because, obviously, GMs and stuff, they disrespect players all the time. And so you're really trying to do this, and you're trying to, as a player myself, the last thing I'd want to see is another player just dogging me, you know what I mean? So you're trying to do this, and you're trying to really think of ways to be like, well, but then you got to think of ways of people on your own team. You're like, hey, well, why'd you draft a player in my position? I said, well, dog, get 35. You know what I mean? So you can only do so much.
Yeah, my man, you plan on getting on the TB12 Tom Brady diet? Because if not, then you're probably out the league in a couple of years. All right, so let's.
No, but it's fun. This is fun. I like this a lot.
That's good. I'm glad that you're enjoying it. Let's recap it a little bit. So in Shelby's mock draft here for the Denver Broncos, which is no slight to any player currently on the Broncos. We want to make that very clear. All he's trying to do is make the team better. He's just trying to win you guys a championship. That's all he's doing. We went Patrick Surtain at number 9 in the first round. Trayvon Merrick in the second, so you got a boost in the secondary. Dylan Moses in the third, got a little bit of an upgrade at linebacker, got some extra depth there. Jalen Twyman was then the next pick on the interior defensive line, so he gets a friend that he gets to pass rush next to. Cade Johnson, a little bit of a surprise pick, but I like it as well that he went right after that. Trey Norwood, CJ Marable, that's how he rounded it out. And for me, as the Los Angeles Chargers, doing my best to try to beat Shelby next season. No, I'm just kidding, man. I wish you all the success in the world. I got Trayshawn Slater, the offensive tackle from Northwestern. Landon Dickerson, the interior offensive lineman. Melifonu, the cornerback from Syracuse. Patrick Jones, the second for those wide 9 third down rushes. Ben Cleveland, a little upgrade in the depth on the interior, or maybe even a starting spot. Then we went Tuff Borland, Shi Smith, and Trayvon Grimes is my final picks here for the 7-round mock draft. Shelby, you not only held your own, but you did fantastic, man. You had a lot of knowledge on a lot of the different players, everything that was going on with the Broncos. I really appreciate you coming on with me, man.
Man, thanks for having me. I need a screenshot of all this to know how right I was on draft day.
We are certainly going to keep this one in the archives. And if if it comes out where they draft any of these players here, we're gonna take the screenshot and we're gonna text it to you right away. We're gonna be like, you were first, you knew. They watched this video and they learned straight from you. And so, yeah, man, look, I hope that you get as much sleep as you possibly can this offseason. I hope you play as much video games as possible, and I hope you eat as much barbecue as possible, my man. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, that was Shelby Harris, defensive tackle for the Denver Broncos. That was a blast. I hope you guys all enjoyed that as much as I did. We're going to have another episode in the live mock draft series coming up on Sunday. We will see you then.